You are not failing, you are growing. What if I told you that your greatest failure is actually a hidden blessing? That every rejection, every loss, every so-called mistake is shaping you into who you're meant to be? You're not failing. You're growing. We live in a world obsessed with success. We glorify the end result, the applause, the trophies. But what we don't talk about enough is the journey. The messy, painful, soul-stretching journey that success demands. Most people think failure is the opposite of success. But they're wrong. Failure is part of success. In this video, I want to give you a new lens, a new way to see the pain you're going through. We'll talk about why failure is not your enemy, but your mentor. We'll explore real stories of people who hit rock bottom before rising to greatness. And most importantly, I'll show you how to turn failure into your greatest advantage, because the truth is, you're not behind. You're being prepared. Point 1. Failure is the greatest teacher. We often see failure as the end of the road. But in truth, failure is feedback. It's not shouting you're done. It's whispering, try a different way. Every time you fail, the universe is handing you a lesson. You either ignore it, or you absorb it. Failure teaches you what doesn't work, which path isn't yours, which mindset needs changing, how to be resilient. You get stronger emotionally and mentally, how to be creative. When plan A fails, you begin to think outside the box. Take Thomas Edison, for example. He made over 1,000 unsuccessful attempts before inventing the light bulb. When asked how he felt about failing so many times, he said, "I didn't fail 1,000 times. The light bulb was an invention with 1,000 steps." That's not just perspective, it's power. Point 2. Even the greats failed first. Let's look at a few more people who turned their failures into foundations. Albert Einstein, he didn't speak until he was 4. His teachers said he'd never amount to anything. Today, he's one of the greatest minds in history. Michael Jordan, he was cut from his high school basketball team. He cried in his room but then made a decision to work harder than anyone else. He became the greatest of all time. Arianna Huffington, her book was rejected by 36 publishers. She later went on to build the Huffington Post, one of the most influential news outlets in the world. The truth is, failure is not a sign of weakness. It's often a sign of greatness in progress. You are walking a path others have walked. Don't stop before your breakthrough. Point 3. How to develop a growth mindset. A fixed mindset says, I'm either good at it or I'm not. A growth mindset says, I can improve with effort and time. Here's the thing, your brain is like a muscle. The more you challenge it, the more it grows. But that only happens when you face resistance, and failure is one of the strongest forms of resistance. To shift into a growth mindset, reframe your thoughts. When something goes wrong, ask, what is this teaching me? Praise effort, not results. The process is just as important as the outcome. Detach your identity from your results. Failing doesn't mean you're a failure. It means you're learning. Even in soil, pressure, and time are what create diamonds. Don't be ashamed of your struggle, respect it. Point 4. Daily habits that help you embrace failure and grow. Here are specific, daily habits that help you build resilience, shift perspective, and welcome failure as a teacher. 1. Daily reflection journal. At the end of each day, ask yourself, what didn't go as planned today? What did I learn from it? What will I do differently next time? By documenting your thoughts, you begin to see patterns, learn from mistakes, and build emotional awareness. 2. Practice self-compassion. Talk to yourself like you'd talk to a friend. Instead of, I'm so stupid. I can't do anything right. Say, I made a mistake, but I'm learning. Everyone makes mistakes. This rewires your brain to process setbacks as part of the journey, not signs of failure. 3. Surround yourself with growth-minded people. You need people around you who uplift, not judge you. Find those who say, it's okay, you're still learning, not you always mess up. Join growth communities. Listen to empowering podcasts. Follow people who share their struggles, not just their highlight reels. 4. Celebrate fail-forward moments. Start clapping for your effort, not just your wins. Missed a goal? Celebrate showing up. Didn't close a deal? Celebrate taking the shot. Got rejected? Celebrate your courage to try. This teaches your brain to associate effort with reward, not shame. 5. Create a failure folder. Keep a digital or physical folder of your past rejections, setbacks, and failures. Next to each one, note what you learned or how it made you stronger. Over time, this becomes your evidence of growth, proof that you've survived every failure so far. 6. Adopt the yet mentality. Whenever you catch yourself saying, "I can't do this. I don't understand. I'm not good at this." Add one word to the end, yet. I can't do this. Yet. This tiny shift opens your mind to possibility, rather than closing it off. 7. Start each day with an intention. Wake up and ask, what lesson am I open to learning today? What discomfort am I willing to face? Growth starts with intention. Failures won't surprise or derail you when you expect them as part of the process. Final thought on daily habits. Small habits, practiced consistently, transform you over time. Remember, you don't rise in one big leap, you rise in daily inches. Let's be honest, nobody enjoys failure. It hurts. It humbles. It strips us down, but it also builds. It builds character. It builds wisdom. It builds resilience. You're not failing, you're becoming, you're growing. Recap: failure is your teacher, not your enemy. Even legends had to fall before they could rise. A growth mindset changes everything. Daily habits create strength for tomorrow. So the next time you feel stuck, remember this: you're not behind. You're being prepared, you're not lost. You're being led, you're not failing. You're growing. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone who feels defeated. Someone who needs to hear that it's okay to fall, as long as you rise again. Tag them. Encourage them. And remind yourself, the story isn't over. You're just in the middle of the chapter.